powers whatever you're powering. And of course, it reverses. Directly like this, it really seems to have no additional benefit other than, you know, you reverse the channel. But you could easily just use that. But as you can see over there, there's an example of how inverted gates can be useful when you have situations like that over there. So keep that in mind. Inverted gates or not gates or any gate that has an N with it is usually just a reverse version of the previous gate. So second in our line of gates is called an AND gate. And it's called an AND gate because, as you can see, you have 2 redstone torches, which is powering a third, turning it off, which thereby keeps this line unpowered and keeps the door closed. Now, this is called an AND gate because in order to open that door, you need to hit switch A and switch B. You can see the door will not open until both switches are toggled. Now, this could be used as a dumb door in that if you're not worried about people being able to come to and fro freely, say you have a base and like you spawn inside, you leave one and one out. Like this is inside the base, this is outside the base. You could be like, okay, time to go out. Boom, okay, walk through the door, I'm outside, close the door. You know, and of course, you know, back and forth. However, keep in mind that this will not work in reverse. If you're inside and somebody else wants to come in, they're not going to be able to come in. Could be useful if you want it to work that way. Otherwise, there's another gate that will allow, we'll get to it here in a minute, that will allow people to open and close the door on either side regardless of what state it is. The next one, well, skipping over, we have a NAND or NAND gate, which, as I said before, any gate that has an N or not or whatever is just a reverse. The NAND gate is pretty much, as you can see, and I use the Minecraft wiki for these designs. You can go there and look under redstone or redstone wiring, redstone gates, and you'll see a diagram that has all these pretty much on it in a fairly easy to understand. So the NAND gate pretty much just replaces redstone torch with a line, and it just works the same way, just in reverse. Next we have an OR gate, in that this, you have a direct line to the block, and it is a lever A or lever B. Again, it doesn't work. You could use this easily in the same manner as, you know, an input out a door for your house that can't be gotten in on the outside once you're inside. But it's up to you if you like that or not. And of course, it's inverse, the NOR gate. You know, same concept, same idea. It's powering, and when you hit a switch, it turns it off and closes it. Next, we have the XOR gate, which I call the either switch opener. This is a little bit more complicated, and I did an example of it over there, hidden, sort of. But this one's a little bit more complicated looking. But this is the mechanic that pretty much, and feel free as you're going through these, if you want to create these yourself, to pause at any moment while I'm going over them, to pause and create them yourself. But this mechanic switch allows you to open the door and close it inside or out. So you could be inside your base, go through the door, close it once you're outside, And let's say somebody else who is inside your base spawns inside. He needs to get out. Flips the switch, goes out the door, and closes it. So as you can see, either switch will open and close the door. Works great. I like it. And of course, it has its inverse, which is called an XNOR gate, which is a little bit different, but it works the same way, just in reverse. But probably doesn't mean that much to you. It's probably just easier to use the regular or XOR gate. And here's a little idea of how you could put it underneath a house. I did this in a rush, so it's probably not as nice as it could be. I did it in glass blocks so you could see where everything is. You can see the XOR gate is right there where it is, and I just extended the line circuitry with some repeaters to continue the circuit to switches on the inside and outside. But as you can see, you know, open the door, go inside your house, close the door, and yeah, and somebody could be like, "Oh, I want to come in there too," and you're still inside. "Oh, I want to come in too." Yeah, boom. So it works pretty well. Next on the list is next we get into pulsars and repeaters, things that can create pulses of power, and for things like you saw the conveyor belt piston elevator that I did, it used one of these. But first we'll use kind of an older one. It's called a rapid pulsar. It's very similar to the blinker that I used, but as you can see, it creates a rapid pulse of energy, and as each torch burns out from being pulsed too much, it just switches to the next one, and so on, and thus creates a rapid pulse. And as you can see with this note block that I'm using for the example, how fast it works. Again, with most of these things, on servers and private servers and other such things like this, they may need to be reset once you restart. But as you can see, I just take out the middle one to stop it, and you can just put it back down to restart it. An example of a regular, this is more accurately called a clock, and there was a design for a 5 clock. I didn't do it. I apologize. If you want me to do another one, I will. But this is an idea. This is the basic idea for a clock using repeaters. The idea is that the repeaters, the information goes from 1 and it just keeps going down. We'll start with a 1 clock, which is everything on the 1 setting. And basically, 1 clock powers whatever you attach it to every second. If you do it, you can do a 2 clock, which will do it every 2 seconds. 3 clock. And of course, 4 clock. And you want to do these all at the same time, because if you get it off, I mean, you could probably vary it a little bit by having some of them at different settings, but if you vary it too much, eventually the power will catch up with it, and you'll have a full clock, which I'll show you that here in a minute. Here's the 4 clock. Oh, yeah. See, this is an example on if you know, you unpowered it, it would just all be powered, and it wouldn't do it no more. So be aware of that. Here's the 4 clock. And of course the 5 clock, which doesn't use repeaters, obviously would power whatever you attach it to every 5 seconds. And continuing with what was on the website, we have here what I'm calling the old school repeater. This was pretty much what was used before they added these repeaters, and that you have a torch, a line, a block, a torch, and the more blocks with torches you did, the longer it took for the door to open. This would probably be a 1.5 tick, or a half tick. It doesn't really do it that fast, or it doesn't really slow it down by much. Let's see if I can lengthen the process any. Yeah, as you can see, the more you put, the longer it takes for the door to open. And of course, this takes up more room, and now that you have repeaters, you can do the same thing in much more space and have much more control over it. Even having it as, as fast as you do it with a 1 tick, which this will be equal to this one. Well, this is the half second. This will be, so this will be equal to a 3 tick, and then 4 tick. And of course, the more repeaters you put, the longer it can take. So, so glad they put these in, so we don't have to keep using these. But anyway, that's some basics on Redstone and Redstone Gates. If you have any ideas for anything else that I can cover for other tricks or other things you haven't heard of, like using doors for breathable air, and well, just anything else at all, making furniture, making big furniture, anything like that, leave a comment, tell me what you want, and I'll see what I can do. Well, anyway, that's it. Catch you later. Sayonara.